Hello friends, welcome back to Hobart's Library. I know it's been a minute, as it always is, isn't it always? So I've got good news and I've got bad news. Hi Pig. So the good news is that we've got a book haul. The bad news is that I spent way too many of my unemployed dollars because it turns out I'm a little bit of a stress shopper. I never used to be, but I am now. So, okay. Okay, unhand me. Thank you. Okay, so some of the books I don't have on me because they are coming in the mail and I just didn't feel like waiting. But that's okay, I will show them on screen anyway. Hi, Pig. Okay, this is the first book that I wanted to show you. This is a Choose Your Own Adventure book, which I've never read before, the Choose Your Own Adventure style books, but I've decided that I love them. And I'm really in love with Mothman. Go to your grandfather's house, and he was super into cryptids, and he disappeared 2 years ago. But you've just inherited his house, you and your family, because he was presumed dead. So you inherited his house. And obviously there's some Mothman encounters. He is one of my favorite creatures that allegedly exist. And I like that in this story, Mothman is both good and bad, because I think Mothman is good. I've read through a few of the endings. I died in 4 of the 5 endings that I found so far. Okay, the next one. We have The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. You're gonna see some books in here, and you're gonna think, Emily, you are so behind the curve. I'm not behind the curve. I know that these were popular when I was like 16, 17, 18 years old. I know that. And I had copies of these, but I never ended up reading them. And a lot of my books ended up getting thrown out. Long story, but I'm now, for some reason, in the mood for fantasy, and one of my favorite genres is the villain gets the girl. So you'll see a couple of those. I think this might be one of them. I know that it's Enemies to Lovers, which I love. It's a thick book, but I don't know, I'm kind of into it. So it's about a girl named Jude. Her parents were murdered when she was 7, and her 2 sisters were stolen away to live in the treacherous High Court of Fairies. 10 years later, she wants nothing more than to belong there, which I think is kind of crazy, but maybe I don't know what happened to them. In my head, whenever they're stolen away, they're like made into like slaves, but it kind of sounds like she likes it there. But many of the Fae despise humans, especially Prince Cardan, the youngest and wickedest son of the High King. To win a place at the court, Jude must defy him and face the consequences. This is the first book in a trilogy, if you did not know. I'm sure you did. I don't know, it might be a whole series. I think it is, actually. Whatever. Anyway, I need some more clean fantasy books, because for some reason, I'll tell you what I think it is. I started that Mothman book, and it got me on a fantasy kick. So, I picked this one up. Another one I picked up while I was at it is Red Queen. Another one that I had when I was a teenager and never read it, and it's like 10 years later, and look at the beautiful, okay, I know a lot of people are saying that they're getting sick of sprayed edges. They're my favorite thing though. I love sprayed edges. Like, I didn't have, like, that was so crazy when I was growing up. Things didn't have a lot, like, this was very rare. And now everything's got sprayed edges. I love sprayed edges. Red Queen is more like, there are people born with red blood and silver blood, and the people with silver blood have cool magical abilities, and the people with red blood are just like normal folk, like you and I. And basically, if you have silver blood, you're like the high of society, and the red blood are servants, pretty much. Sorry. And Mare is a red blood, and she does not have any magical abilities, except, surprise, yes, she does. And so when the Silver King discovers this, he is forced to hide the impossibility of her power and pretend she is a long-lost silver princess betrothed to one of his sons. I think you're getting the theme of these books that I picked up, except for the Mothman one, except I am in love with Mothman. So the next books that I picked up are completely different, so do not expect anything to be the same. I have a very eclectic taste in books. This is You Are the Detective, The Creeping Hand Murder, a solve-it-yourself mystery. How freaking cool is that, guys? And it's very Clue. If you've ever read And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie, it's very much like that. 7 people are brought to this townhouse. They receive letters saying that somebody knows their secret and you need to come to this townhouse, right? So 7 people come to this townhouse and one person is stabbed right in front of everybody, but nobody saw anything. And so you have to solve this murder. And look. It's got pictures, friends. It's got lots of pictures of evidence, okay? And then at the end, I assume this envelope holds the answers. Obviously, we're not gonna open that because I don't wanna know because I haven't read it yet. How stinking cool is that? I didn't even know that was an option. I love it when a book is actually also a game. How fun is also, side note, you're probably thinking, Emily, you look rather pink today. Yes, I'm covered in poison ivy. You're also probably thinking, Emily, you sound kind of nasally. Yeah, at the same time that I got poison ivy, I had the flu. And now I think I have a sinus infection. This is my first week of not working. What, a nice little break? I don't think so. Okay. Oh, yeah. Let me tell you about this series. This is so cool. Okay. I bought a whole trilogy. I know. A whole trilogy that I'd never heard of, even. It's middle grade. I've been reading a lot of middle grade books because I find them calming. But it is the And They Found Dragons trilogy by Ted and Rochelle Decker. And okay, so it's a Christian fantasy. It's like dystopian, which is, it's funny to say that it's dystopian because it's based in the future. But by the future, I mean like 10 years. It's in like 2036. Which is a little bit crazy, that dystopian could be considered 2036. But it's basically like, if you've ever read or watched The 100, it's sort of like that, where all of humanity has been launched into space. All of the remaining of humanity has been launched into space because the Earth is not inhabitable. So there's only 169 people on the Ark that's orbiting the Earth. Their supplies are running low. They can't wait any longer. They have to return to Earth. The problem is dragons have started popping up on the Earth. The worst part of that, it gets worse, is that anybody who's over the age of puberty, so anybody who's over like 13, will die if they go down there because these dragons emit a toxic gas that only affects those who are older. It doesn't affect children. So they decide they have to train and send children to Earth to kill the queen dragon. But Jack, who is just 12 and frail and weak, is deemed unworthy to join in on this mission. And the dragons are the physical embodiment of human fear and the idea is that the only thing that can defeat these dragons is a love that casts out all fear. So there's book 1, 2, and 3. I bought all 3 of them. I didn't need to do that, but they were calling to me. I wanted fantasy and I wanted young adult, and I was looking and looking and looking, and I just couldn't find anything that I wanted until I found these. And I thought, well, I don't want to buy just one of them because they're quite short. They're little books. I would hate to just buy one of them and then finish it and then I don't have the next one. So I bought all 3. Oh. Hi, bud. I can't let you out that window. You're gonna have to go to the door. Okay, I'll go to the door. Hold on. Archie, come on. Okay. Okay. I need you to not judge me on this, friends. Remember that we're friends. Family in Christ. I did buy the Warrior Cats comic. What I didn't know is that this is the 4th book. So I actually do have to get the first 3, but I'm thinking I'm going to try to get them like on Libby or something. Because I don't even know if I like Warrior Cat. Editing Emily here. We do like Warrior Cats. We've at this point read the first, I think, 4 or 5 books, maybe more. I know what you're thinking, Emily, you must have been a really big fan of Warrior Cats. No, I've never read it, but this was really calling to me, okay? That, as soon as I walked into the bookstore, that was calling to me. What is it about? I don't know. I know it's about cats who are in clans, and I think there's some fighting, and that's it. That's really all I actually know about Warrior Cats. I think I wasn't necessarily going to include this one, but I mean, it's a book that I bought. I bought it at Goodwill. It is Harold Loves His Woolly Hat. It's about a little bear who loves his woolly hat, obviously. But this freaking crow comes, and the crow also loves Harold's woolly hat. There he is. And he takes Harold's woolly hat. And it's a story about Harold learning what it truly means to be special, and that he doesn't need his woolly hat to be special. But I think it's a very beautiful story. I've skimmed it, I haven't read it yet. And I know. I could read this in 2 seconds, and I could tell you everything that it's about. I'm not gonna do that right now. Okay, the next books I do not have physical copies of. I'm just going to show them to you on screen. First, I bought all of these Choose Your Own Adventure books. I can't explain. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't know what else to tell you. I can't explain this to you. Okay, the last set that I want to show you. I did not buy these, okay? They were given to me by my aunt who wanted to get rid of them. And she's just very generous, so she gave them to me instead of selling them to me. We got the complete Series of Unfortunate Events series. I've read the first one. I am now on to the second one. This series, if you have not read it or heard of it, so it is about these 3 kids, the Baudelaire kids, and it is a series of very unfortunate events that happen to them. It is like, you get a warning at the front of the books and at the back of the books and everywhere that, like, this is not a story of good things that happen to kids. It is a story of repeatedly bad things that happen to kids. Like, I know you get that warning and everything, but they're really bad things that happen to these kids. Like, they are physically abused, they are threatened with murder, they are threatened with, if you don't do this, I'm gonna murder your siblings. Like, it's a tough read. It's a tough read. For kids, I think it would be, I don't know if it'd be worse for kids to read it or better for kids to read it, because I think as an adult, it's really hard to picture adults hurting children. Whereas as a child, I don't know that I feel like you don't realize how bad it is for an adult to hurt a child when you are a child. Whereas as you get older and you become a teenager and then an adult, you realize just how terrible it is anytime an adult harms a child in any way. And so I wonder if it's harder to read now because I'm an adult than it would have been when I was a child. Like, as a child, I would have been like, dang, that sucks. That really sucks that happened to you guys. I'm sorry that happened to you. Whereas now, as an adult, I'm like, this would scar these children for the rest of their life. They will never be the same. Like, this is literally a moment where their life has an edge to it. Like, the path of their life was going straight, and suddenly it has completely converged into a different direction. And maybe that's also because I work in childcare, or I did, and I'm going to be going to school to work with kids. So maybe that's because I'm very interested in the development of children. But like, hitting a child across the face, you cannot understand what that does to their brain. It literally changes their brain chemistry. So I think maybe reading this as an adult, it's a little bit tougher than it might have been when I was younger, but that's okay. I'm gonna muscle through it, because I am kind of hoping that at the end, maybe there is actually like a little bit of a happy ending. Like, even if it's just freedom for these kids, maybe they're like, just freedom. Just free, like, not necessarily being taken care of by the best person, but maybe they'll just be like free at the end of this, and they won't be hunted for the rest of their lives by this horrible, vile man. I have to read because I have to find out. Like, I have to know. I have to know that eventually something good happens to these kids. I don't know if that's gonna stay there. Okay, well, I want to hear from all of you. If you have book recommendations, evidently. I'm on like a bender right now where I just can't stop buying things. So, if you have any book recommendations, specifically I'm into middle grade right now, and I'm into fantasy right now. If there are clean adult fantasy that you can tell me, I would love that. Christian or non-Christian, I'm good either way. Just clean adult fantasy instead of young adult. I would like to read about adult people, please. What have you been reading? What have you been buying? Have you bought any books recently? And if so, let me know what they were. Let me know if you've read them. Let me know if you've read the books from your last book haul. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. I can't wait to talk to you guys down in the comments. I've missed everybody, as I always do. I'm glad that I have this like couple weeks of unemployment so that I can actually talk to everybody again. And it has been so nice talking to you again here at Hobart's Library. I know it looks a little different. We're at the same location, we're just outside for better lighting. So, it's been so nice talking to you again at Hobart's Library, and I hope to see you again. Bye, guys.